Welcome to Kings and Queens, the Aftershow. Your host, Decky Brown and Andrew Inserra. How we doing today?
We're doing great, man. It's actually Decky Matchmaker to you. I'm coming here live from Arizona. I'm the remote booker for the Date Night podcast. Our second rendition, Andrew, of Kings and Queens. So just a little bit of an intro. Like I said, I'm Decky Matchmaker. I'm the co-host of the Backpocket. I'm a co-producer of the Backpocket Productions, a company Andrew and I started 5 years ago officially, and we started the Date Night podcast last year together, man. And we figured, why not start a Date Night podcast? Why not start an after show to talk about everything that we do? And we're pretty stoked, man. Andy, give yourself a little introduction, brother.
Yes, sir, dude. I'm the director of the Date Night podcast. I'm on site, making sure everyone sticks to the script, putting everyone in the right spots, paying the bills, doing all the necessary things to execute for the Date Night podcast, Kings and Queens. This after show was highly recommended from season 1. Everyone was like, what's happening with these dates? What are they up to right now? Obviously, the date happened last night, so we don't have a ton to build on quite yet. So this is the first rendition. We're going to be playing around with this throughout the season, bringing back people from once we get to maybe episode 8. You might hear from people on episode 3 if they're still going, if they're still dating, because Kings and Queens has a 10% success rate, which I'd say is pretty good, Deck. I mean, let's pat ourselves on the back right now.
Yeah. So episode 7, King Spencer, guy's an absolute stud. He is still dating Brooke, which we should probably throw some pictures or something up here to show who these people are. Sorry for the Twitch stream. I'm not advanced enough yet. We haven't hired our Twitch producer yet to take care of that. But yeah, we are technically 10% at matchmaking, and I stand by that. I think that's the coolest thing that we've done in part of the show. Someone found love through the podcast.
That's a higher success rate than Love is Blind. I don't know what that means, but someone told me that last night, and I'm also proud of that. Brooke and Spencer were at the Date Night podcast last night. They are our what's the right word? It's the protege. No, what's the prodigal? The prodigal couple.
The prodigal couple. Thank you. Good call, Andrew.
Yes.
Good use of words, man. So
this is the after show where we are going to bring on, people working for the Date Night podcast, like Jess and T-Flow, Marcus, Mark, Lauren, as well as contestants and kings. Tonight we have Abbey, we have Kenzie, and we have our king from last night, Nick.
Yeah, we're pretty stoked, man. It's going to be a good old time. And I think part of this is going to just be, to talk about the behind the scenes of the show, in addition to kind of just spilling the tea a little bit of some of the unique things that kind of went on. So from a back end standpoint, Andrew was basically running around with his head cut off for the last, I would say, 6 weeks preparing for the Date Night podcast at First Draft. And I would say the coolest thing that we had this year, which is so funny that we didn't have it last year, the call sheet. No production call sheet last year. Just kind of, we're like, I think this is the next, it's date 1, date 2, date 3. But after that, whatever, we'll see how it goes. All of a sudden, producer Marcus, one of our stream managers for the show and Backpocket's first hire, he's like, at another job I was working for at a news station, they typically do this thing called a call sheet. I think it might be applicable for the show. Andrew, how'd the call sheet go for night 1?
Dude, I kept all of the nuances to a tight hour because of this call sheet. I felt so professional. Marcus, you absolutely nailed it. It was so funny too, because, last year we started doing this. We weren't live streaming it in February for episode 1. We didn't have nearly the equipment that we currently do. I think we started live streaming at episode 5. So we progressively got better last year. We knew exactly what we were getting into this year. And everyone in the bar was saying how big of a difference it felt. Everything was just crisp. It felt professional. 2 people came up to me and said, Andrew, this feels professional. And at first I was like, oh, were we not professional last year? Which we were not professional.
No, we weren't.
Absolutely. Yeah, I knew that. But to have external people coming up to me, giving me a pat on the back. Like I was like, fuck yeah, we're doing it.
Yeah, I'm glad like we got recognition for it because, I think this year more than anything, we're just like, okay, like let's clean up the shit show, but basically do the same thing. Like it was like, let's get organized with how we're presenting the show. And then let's actually release the podcast when it should. So while it has relevancy, and then like, let's talk about it for this after show. And like those three things, like just keeping a tight production, actually documenting and recording the podcast and putting the content out at a high volume. Like we are tripling our content this year. And just doing those three things, I think trying to focus on those three things to the best of our ability is going to make the difference. And I'm stoked, man. I mean, even from go ahead. Sorry, you lit up, dude. I saw it.
Yeah, so like our production is sped up tenfold. Like last year, we recorded. For those of you that don't know, we recorded all 10 episodes and then spent a month working on them and then releasing them a month after we finished the last episode. This year, we're recording on a Wednesday and releasing on a Monday.
Mm-hmm.
We're recording these after shows on a Thursday and releasing it Tuesday. Like we are churning and burning. We are a machine and we are here to give the people what they want.
Absolutely, man. So in a couple minutes here, we'll be taking our first call in. We're pretty stoked about it all around. But I will say, just from the booking side of things, as I am the matchmaker, we brought on another matchmaker and casting producer. Her name is Jess. She is an absolute rock star. She was on episode 10 last year, right, Andrew?
Yeah, I think the finale, because it was Logan Patch's episode.
Right. Anyways, she has been a huge help gathering all these different applicants we're getting and helping us decide on the casting. I think her lens of just like how to navigate has been awesome. And not to mention, we call and contact every single one of these people before they're on the show. So we are physically vetting everyone. Whereas like last year, we literally were just like, you look good. Here's your spot on the show. And the first time we ever got to like know whether or not they could speak or not was on the show. And that was so much fun. That was like it was either boom or bust. Like they either like talked a lot and it was fine, or they were just like mute and it was the most awkward thing ever, which made for good content. But just like, from a booking standpoint, you hate to see someone who you think may be extroverted, not extroverted.
Right. We didn't even really know if the person that signed up and that we were messaging via Instagram was a real person or not last year. We just accepted that the person said yes and they were available. Like we did have like a huge submission list, but it was just very difficult to nail that person down at that time, at that day. So when someone said yes, we were just like, boom, you're in. This year, Jess is taking care of all of the casting. And yeah, Deck and Jess are FaceTiming, making sure that we are like we are setting Nick, who was our headliner for last night, setting him up for success. Like we gave him 3 diverse girls, different backgrounds, and he told us a little bit about what he was interested in. And we were like, all right, Jess, take it and run with it and find 3 girls that you think could vibe out with this, but not the same person. And I can't wait for you guys to like hear how the dates went after that happened, because you just listened to last night's episode and I really do think we executed. Like, I think we put together potential love.
We may have. And I think my biggest thing moving forward is I am trying to maximize the entertainment value of the show. Like, I know that was my job going in, but like now it's really the focus of my job. Like, I want to try and find like the kookiest, most outlandish people that could possibly want to be on this show. And I want to use that as the basis for like not only entertainment, but finding love. That's always our goal at the end of the day. And I'm stoked for it, man. It's going to be, it's just going to be, I just love like the evolution of the show so far. I'm stoked.
Yeah, that's one thing that we are going to get better at throughout this season. And it's a focus point is the drama. Like last year, I don't think we weren't focused on the drama. We weren't focused on creating spicy storylines.
We didn't capture the drama as well as we should, but we're very set up for the drama this year.
We're set up for the drama, dude. We're set up for the build up, and we're gonna be dropping bombs. We do have some funky guests that are going to be coming on as headliners. I don't know how else to phrase it. It's going to be
Headliners, dude.
It's going to be so unique. I love calling them headliners, like the king and the queen. Those are our headliners, and then we have our contestants.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, I really hope we're about to welcome on Abbey, or Abbo, I should say, our first guest. Is she in the chats yet, or is she's in the lobby?
She is not yet in the lobby. I'll give you a little preemptive when she is.
Okay.
You think she goes by Abbo? She said she went by Abbey last night.
Well, if you want, so you haven't watched the show, huh? Like you haven't heard the dates.
No idea.
Okay,
no, I have
so
no
like
idea.
I watched the whole show. So she, at one point in the show, she pulled out a sticky note and handed it to Nick and said like, "Hey, how do you think you say my last name?" Her last name is spelled Fuchs, and then like they talked about it, and I thought it was the F word, and I thought like Twitch was gonna take us down. Turns out it was like Fuchs, I want to say. But then her nickname formally is Abbo, Abbo. So just wanted to let you know that she mentioned it on the show. It would be a very warm welcome if we welcomed her with Abbo as opposed to Abbey, if you're okay with that.
Got it. So she home runs. She's definitely a home run. She's hitting yabos.
Kind of, without the Y, but yes.
Kind of. Yeah. All right. I like that. Yeah, so I haven't seen any of these dates yet because we recorded last night and I'm moving around all the time. So I'm not able to listen. However, a big update, Jay, the DJ, we have a DJ now at First Draft.
Huge.
Which kept everyone at the bar another hour and a half, and the guy was playing bangers. It was insane on a Wednesday night. But he has a connection to get equipment from a silent disco company. So I can plug in a attachment, I believe, to the pod track into one of the headphone jacks, and people will be able to grab Bluetooth headphones and listen to the audio as it's happening and not via Twitch stream.
Game changer.
Game changer. Didn't even know that. Like, I didn't even put two and two together that silent disco could be utilized for the date night podcast.
Yeah, that's out of control. Okay. Wow, that's huge. I need that. That makes me very happy knowing that that's a thing. That's insane. Holy shit. So yeah, I mean, it's funny. Like, I'm trying to, like, you're on the show, but you didn't even listen to the podcast, which I think is almost hysterical. I'm just now realizing that.
Well, Abbey will give me some context because she's here in the
Let's
waiting
go.
room. I'm about to let her in.
Team Abbo, baby.
I'll let you introduce her since you got. I don't have. She met you via casting, correct?
No. Wait.
No. Okay.
Maybe she has. I don't know.
All right. Well, here comes Abbo. Drum roll, please.
Abbo, what's up, baby? Abbo's still connecting your audio.
Okay.
Abbo, what's up, Abbo? Abbo, let's go.
How are we doing?
Dude,
we're buddies right now. Taking this live.
Nice. That's super sick. I love that. And yeah, shout out to Bunnies. Bunnies is kind of like one of my favorite bars, Northeast, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Love that.
Yes.
So Abbo, I just want to start with, saying, asking you, how do you feel personally as a viewer? I thought you had it in the bag. Your guys' connection.
I thought so too.
I was like kind of shocked he went with Kenzie. No offense to Kenzie, but if I had to bet going into the final selection, my money was on you 1,000%. And I feel for you, and I just want to hear your thoughts on the night in overall, and I want to hear on just kind of your reaction at the end.
So first of all, it was so much fun. I've never been on a podcast, so I was like, I don't know what to expect. I've seen the Date Night podcast. Like, obviously, when they picked me, I stalked their whole Instagram. And I'm like, okay, I need to see what goes down. And the minute I got on, I was like, this is so much fun. I love this. And it went by so fast. Like, 10 minutes is up. We're done. I'm like, I could have kept going. Like, I thought the conversation flowed really well. Nick was a super nice guy. Nothing bad to say about him. I thought he was really fun to talk to. But I guess the connection just wasn't there. It's okay. But I kind of got like more of a friend vibe. You know, I was like, okay, me and this guy could be friends. I'm like, I can see that, but maybe. So I guess for myself, I'm not like super surprised he didn't pick me, but I think maybe the audience was because it seemed like they thought we were the best connection. But I think because our conversation just flowed really nicely.
Okay, because I was gonna ask you if he did end up picking you as the winner to go on a second date. Did you think there would be a connection? Did you think you'd have a future together?
So I was like checking her.
Good question.
Honestly, I probably would have gone on a second date because I think 10 minutes you can obviously tell a little bit about someone and you can kind of see if you have a connection, but I think it takes more than that. So I would have said yes because I think it would have granted a second date, you know, like might as well. Even if right after that I was like, okay, maybe like I said, friend vibe, I would have gave it a shot for sure.
Good. Yeah, I just want to.
That's okay.
Yes, no,
Yes,
totally
that's
okay.
absolutely okay.
We raise a glass to it and we move on and we continue to find love and fight to find love, and that's what it's all about. I will say, as the matchmaker and kind of head of casting, the thing that caught my eye initially with you was your friend Tess actually DM'd the show and said, you know, hey, we nominated Abbey, like where is she in the process, like we need answers. And I was like, we're looking for an Abbey Fuchs. I think I said fucks, but I was like, we're looking for her, I don't know where she is. And then I find you, and then at the exact same time, I can't pull it up for some reason, but I get a screenshot of you in a group chat with a bunch of ladies, and you're like, this guy is so hot, I can't believe it. I'm so obsessed with this man. Let me get my paws on him. And I was like, I have to give her a shot.
I did not know that she said you guys that tweet. That's hilarious. Of course she did. She was like from the start. I was literally at her house, and she was like randomly. She's like, my podcast. I'm like, you know what? I don't know. And then they said Backpocket production. You guys. I was like, oh, I've heard of that. So they're St. Thomas guys. I'm a Tommy too. Class of 2020, shout out. And you know, I was like, that sounds really fun. I was like, that sounds really fun. Like, might as well. She's like, I'm gonna see is that okay? So she did it. And then she was like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes for you to get on. Like, if I have to slide in their DMs, and that's exactly what she did. So
yeah, Tess is.
And she was there last night too.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were pumped to have you. I mean, your conversation itself, like Declan mentioned, I was shocked he didn't pick you. Are you interested in potentially coming back as a queen? Would you want the opportunity to speed date 3 guys?
Yes, 100%.
Cool.
I would love that. I think it would be so much fun. 'Cause like I said, when the 10 minutes was up, I was like, oh yeah, this is like, I love this atmosphere. I'm like, I want to keep going. I want to keep talking.
That's great. So to progress, kind of what we're doing, 2 final questions before we let you go. One is, who would you want to see on the show? And number 2, what would you improve about the show? So who would you want to see? Yeah, who do you challenge us to get on the actual show?
Do you want me to like name names?
Yeah, name drops, but if you like don't want to name drop, you can always just like DM us their profile. But if it's like Chris Lindahl, you know, we can always go for him as well.
Yeah, because we could get Chris.
I have my friend Meredith. She's actually there last night. She's gonna say hi. She's mouthing people to me. I'm like, oh, maybe. So
Is this Emma?
That's Meredith, I heard.
That's Meredith.
Meredith. Okay,
She's
with
there
an M.
last night. She's a supporter. She's there last night. But you know, right now I can't think of anybody specifically. I would have to do a little bit of thinking, but if I do come up with one, I can DM you guys.
Yes.
That's okay.
Yes. That would be amazing. And we're obviously looking for any and all sexual orientations. Not a lot of dudes apply for the show, if you could imagine why. So anybody and everybody, throw us in your DMs. We'd love to hear from you, Abbey.
Okay, beautiful. I mean, I guess one thing I like dark hair. I like dark hair. I like my brunettes. I won't like if there's a blonde thrown in the mix, that's fine. But like if you have brown hair, like you're gonna have to come in with a hot opener if you're wrong.
Yep.
Just say that.
All right, I think we can work with those parameters.
Yeah.
Absolutely, we can deliver you a man with
Totally
brown
fine.
hair.
Yep, we can do that.
Definitely workable.
We'll talk to the board about it and see what we can do.
Final question for you, Abbo. Anything that you want changed on the show? Is there any improvements that we can make to make the contestants a little more comfortable? XYZ.
I'm trying to think. I mean, I thought it was run really smoothly. I liked how. I'm just going to compliment you guys again, honestly. I thought it was run very well. I liked that everyone was super personal, and you could tell that everyone had their own like place on the show. You knew exactly what they were doing. Like I forgot her name, but the social media manager grabbed me and like told me exactly what she did right away. I just ran down everything. So everything was like explained really well in the whole process leading up to it and during. I think maybe one tiny little thing. Like right when I walked in, I was like, I didn't really know. I was like a little confused. I was like, okay, what time do we start? Like, how are we really, like, how is this going down? That kind of thing. So maybe when you see the contestant walk through the door, maybe just grab them quick and be like, hey, take a seat. And then at this time, we'll kind of start the process. Whatever, maybe that's just like one tiny thing. But other than that, it was like chef's kiss, beautiful.
Dude,
Beautiful.
huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Well, Abbo, thank you for joining the after show. We appreciate your time, not only on the Date Night podcast, but on the after show and calling in. Enjoy your beer and your time with Meredith at Bunny's.
Thank you. I will. Thank you guys so much. And I hope we'll be in touch.
Yes. Our people will get in touch with your people.
Yes. Say bye.
Bye, Meredith.
Bye, Meredith. Bye, Abbo.
Bye,
Bye,
Abbo.
guys. Have a good night.
Godspeed.
All right,
Hey.
that's exciting.
Call sheet. She said, I heard chef's kiss, and I heard couldn't be more stoked about how the flow went. So, again, I hate to give another shout out to the call sheet, but we're going to.
God, Marcus, such a savvy man.
What a guy.
Thank you.
What a guy.
He's just an elite producer. That's why we hire people like
So we
Marcus.
hire a guy like that. I'll be right.
All right, so Abbo didn't win. As you guys listened, and she explained, she thought she had a chance, but she wasn't super keen on Nick. Those are the vibes that I got. Like she would have given him a chance, but she's actually kind of relieved that it didn't happen. I could be putting words in her mouth, but those are the vibes that I was received right there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We do have Kenzie in the waiting room.
Ooh,
Our
I'm ready.
winner Of the evening. Nick did end up choosing Kenzie, so I'm expecting to feel the energy through this Zoom
Right.
chat.
We have a lot of questions to ask both Nick and Kenzie, and we can get two sides of the stories here individually, and I think that's pretty spicy. Let's go.
Kenzie, welcome to the after show of the Date Night podcast, Kings and Queens.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Kenzie, first and foremost, just want to congratulate you on your phenomenal achievement. Just a fantastic performance. It's not easy going first on this show. We've never seen it. Rarely, the percentages of the first contestant winning is typically low. So we're stoked that you pulled it off. How are you feeling?
That was tough. I was very nervous, but it was a fun experience. Happy to win. It was good.
Sweet.
So one of your things that was cracking me up, you and I were doing the pre-show recording just to give like our Twitch streamer some context, and I watched it again just now, and you ended it with, I don't want any fuckboys. Did you recently have an experience with the fuckboy, and when did you know on the date that Nick was not in fact a fuckboy?
Love it. Yes, actually I have. Probably before Christmas, this guy like interested, and then a week later he wants to focus on himself. So I was like, okay, fuckboy. So I think Nick was very mature. He was pretty clear what he wanted. So yeah, I don't get any fuckboy vibes from him yet.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, good point. You never know when the fuckboy can come around. It's a circular process typically.
10 minutes is not very long.
Good point.
That's a
good
good
point.
point.
Very
Yep.
good point about the 10 minutes. Intentional, but good point.
Yeah.
So do you think that, so first off, were you expecting to win? And do you think, and then the second part of the question is, do you think the fact that you were both wearing the same color when you showed up for the date, do you think that had any reason behind winning this second date opportunity?
I didn't think I was going to win, actually. I thought was it Abbey?
Yeah,
Little brunette
Abo.
with her little
We thought
earrings?
Abo was going to win as well.
I thought so too. They're maybe more closer in had a little piercy. But no, I didn't think I was gonna win. I was kind of shocked. Maybe the color helped a little bit. That was kind of cool. But yeah, I kind of asked him if he knew like right away, and he really said he had no idea. They are all great conversations. So I think he had a tough choice to make too.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. But I think what the most exciting thing is right now is we're capturing what's going through your head 24 hours after the date. So I mean, it's so fresh and so new. Potentially,
Yes.
we would love to have you back on in like 3 or 4 weeks to see how this is
Ooh.
progressing.
Yeah, we maybe see where we ended up.
Right.
Maybe
Because you and I,
Love that.
Kenzie, we were talking last night about Stern Brook, right? Our
Yes.
our prodigal couple, if you will, that that our 10% success rate that is still going, and we're curious if we're able to keep this, if we can raise these numbers up, because I feel like 10% is already pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. And first show, I mean, we have a second day planned.
we do. Okay.
I don't know. So we have a planned. Hopefully soon we're gonna try and go to a game of some sort since you like sports.
Okay. So do we have any inklings as to what this game is? Like what's been kind of the conversation or the vibes?
Yeah, we talked about either a hockey game or a Wolves game. Never been to the Timberwolves game before, so maybe that and then dinner.
Wow. Wine
That's
and
pretty
dine.
a cool date, right? That's fun.
Yeah.
Like it a lot. Yes.
Okay, that's good.
The fact that it's already planned is massive. You would be
Yes.
surprised. I think last year we had 10 episodes, 10 winners with the opportunity to go on a second date. And I want to say 2 of them went on the second date, with one of them being Brooke and Spencer. And then the other one didn't work out. Like even after someone wins the show and they had the opportunity to speed date, they don't follow up. They either chicken out or they
Ghost.
they ghost them. It's ridiculous.
That is
So,
sad. See, at least be honest, right? Like we're all in this, Curious, has anyone ever said no to a second date?
No, but like part of me kind of wants that drama, honestly.
I can't imagine. I would. Yeah.
I think, but to Andrew's point, most people have said yes while they're on the show, and then immediately after, basically just say like, "No, I don't.
No.
We'll work." Like they say yes, maybe there, and then they just play like the "Hey, this isn't for me" type card,
Of
like
course.
after the whole thing.
Yeah.
So
I just feel like 10 minutes is very short, and it's hard to like make a judgment, and it's just an awkward, different situation. So it's hard to make a judgment after that. So I feel like everyone deserves at least a date number 2.
totally. So what are you most excited about for date number 2 with Nick?
Yeah, not being live, I guess.
yes. good
Nice.
point.
Longer than
Yeah,
10
that's the
minutes.
Nervous part about it. Yeah, being longer than 10 minutes, hopefully getting to know him to, a little bit more, having deeper conversations, figuring out, his likes and all that kind of stuff. Cause yeah, again, 10 minutes is just not much. And I feel like when you're getting to like a good question, you get cut off.
Cool.
Yes.
Tell me about maybe the kind of the journey that you had from like being casted for the show, finding out that you were going on a date with Nick, the preemptive thoughts you had going in, and then maybe when after you had the date. Like, would love to hear kind of that journey going into it.
Yeah, so my friend nominated me, and so then I got like the DM from you guys, and I hadn't seen the guy yet, so I was like, absolutely, just a fun way to get out there. Didn't really care, what it was. So, and then I saw him, and obviously interested, whatever. And then the whole week, I'm like, okay, like preparing what I'm going to say, what I'm going to do. And then, yeah, I was pretty nervous, actually. Couldn't eat at school. I'm a teacher. So, and then, yeah, that happened. And then I got in there and it was all great. I don't know what I was so nervous about. So it was fun, cool experience. And now, yeah, we're talking a little bit, but yeah.
That's really good to hear. For two reasons. One, we're excited for you and Nick. And then the other, we are trying to give, like, this is the after show, first time we're doing something like this, but we're trying to give context for future people in your situation. Yes, it's nerve wracking to be live and to be in front of this audience at first draft. But once you're behind the mic and your headphones are on, like, you don't realize that you're live anymore. It's just like you're zoned in to Nick's voice. T-Flow will jump in every now and then. Any advice for future contestants that you would like to share?
Yeah, I would say bringing your friends, bringing the crew. That's really huge. Like, they hype you up. They're there when you're done. They're just, I felt bad for Liz. I kind of like took her under our wing because she didn't have anyone to hang out with. So I just say, yeah, bring some people and just have fun. Honestly, like, don't go into it thinking you're, gonna marry the person, but open-minded, open heart, and try and have a good time.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. That's amazing. Well, awesome. That is our time so far. Andrew and I and everybody at the Date Night Podcast, wish you the best of luck on this date with our buddy Nick here. And we'll go from there, man. I mean, we're stoked. Like, let us know how it goes.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, send a picture, or what do you guys?
Yeah. Take a picture. Do whatever you think feels natural, and awesome. We will follow up in a couple weeks.
Cool. Okay. You too. Thank you so much.
All right. See you, Kenzie.
Bye, Kenzie.
Bye.
I'm so excited for them.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
A lot of good energy coming from her court. Wow, that's good fun.
That's one of my favorite things about when it's the girls contestants, the guy headliner, is the girls always bring a posse. Abo had, I want to say 10 people there. Kenzie had like 7 or 8. It just fills the place. That aspect of it always cracks me up.
Yeah.
They're rolling deep.
Yeah, you have to roll deep with a squad to like ease the nerves a little bit. And like, if you're the friend and you get invited to hey, watch me go take a guy on a date and I don't even know who this guy is, like, that's an electric moment that you kind of have to be there for. And shout out to us for coming up with the concept. Gotta say it.
Hey, pat ourselves on the back. A lot of pats going on tonight. But we got Nick in the chats.
Huge.
He rolled in solo, which was amazing. Like, he just strutted right into the bar. He came in, gave me a huge hug. And now he's here on the after show. Nick, we just got off the line with Kenzie. Happy to have you here tonight. How you doing tonight?
Good, man. How we doing? How we feeling, boys?
Dude, we're feeling so good. And we're excited to hear about the sporting event you two are going to be going to. Tell us more, dude.
Yeah, so I think we're going to hit up either a Wild or a Wolves game when she gets back. I know she's headed out of town, going to do some things, but once she gets back, we're going to she's the foodie, so I'm going to let her pick the food spot, which I think is the wisest thing for me to do. Just
very wise.
Sit back and enjoy a good meal, and then hit up a sports game, so get a little bit of both worlds for each of us.
Sick.
I love it, man. The last time that we talked was, I think, middle of last year. We were workshopping the sports podcast, and you didn't have as long a hair, dude. Like, you showed up to first draft. You came in strutting right at me, and I wasn't ready for it, man. You look good.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. So in all honesty, I'm just trying to get like Decky, like the legend himself, with the flow of all flows, right? So I hear flattery is the greatest, or imitation is the greatest form of flattery. So I'm just trying to keep up.
Wow. Thank you for the compliment, dude. That goes a fucking long way. Appreciate it, man.
For sure.
So we've had a couple conversations. The community has spoken, and going into the final selection, we all pretty much put our money on Abbey, or Abo, if you will.
Okay.
And you went with Kenzie. So.
And I'm going to offer a little more context here. I mean, you're looking at, this, Nick, you're looking at two guys who partake on the Sunday evening gambling spree.
Call it what it is, Andrew. It's degenerate gambling, and we're bets.
Degenerates. We had bets.
Bets were on the line, Nick.
Bets were on the line, and Abo was -110. Kenzie was +150, and Liz was +200. So, it was interesting to see how things played out. Walk us through kind of the evening a little bit.
Yeah, so and my biggest thing is like one of my big mottos, and I was talking to Kenzie about it afterwards, is like COVID for me was a great opportunity for growth. Like for me, it was how do I find out like what I'm most comfortable with, not only for myself, but like what I want to surround myself with. And somebody who's actually been on the show with you guys before, and Jordan Dino, we talked a lot about energy. Like you get along best with the people who like subconsciously put off the same rhythm that you do. So like all of the conversations that I had last night were fantastic. They were all extremely attractive. Like you guys make it a hard decision to make at the end of the day for sure. But like if I had to take it down to simplistics as far as, you know, what checked the most boxes throughout the evening, it was the rhythm that I got, you know, speaking with Kenzie, even though she may have been nervous or whatever, because she was leading off the night and things may not have been, you know, as loose. I feel like as all these shows get better as they go on, you know, so I just kind of fell back on that and, you know, going with the gut.
Nice. Well,
you bring up a great point there, and Declan already mentioned this with Kenzie, but rarely do we have the winner for the evening be the first contestant of the night, because you're right, it's nerve-wracking. One, for the king and queen, like she or you are a little tense, don't know what to expect. So to see that play out was, you know, it was a curveball.
Well, I'm glad. I want to know who went home with the good odds. They obviously took home, you know, the degenerates version of the King's Cup, right?
yes, absolutely. Did we have a Discord chat who is usually wagering the bets. So if you
Love it.
Yeah. So basically, I would assume Jonah Stillman bet Kenzie plus 110. Andrew.
Yeah, Jonah plus 150.
150.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Gosh.
Wise man.
Very smart guy. What do you think the different, well, actually not the difference maker, you kind of answered that already. What are you most excited about heading into the second date here, Nick?
Just getting to know her a little better. I kind of got the opportunity to experience a lot of her friends. She brought the posse with her for like the after party, so I got to meet some of her close friends and kind of get the lowdown. And for her friends to describe her as somebody who is always just celebrating life is very much like a phase that I'm in. I'm at a place where financially I'm comfortable, and I want to be able to start to celebrate like some of the things that I feel like I've earned, right? And have a partner in doing so. So getting to know her and like just taking it one day at a time and making each day a celebration and see what we can get out of it.
Dude.
Spoken like a true podcast.
Yeah. Phenomenal. Yeah. Phenomenal attention. Well said, sir.
Well
Thank
said.
you.
And you know, this podcast is the #1 podcast on earth. It's the hottest podcast trending. We're on our way to Mars, but we got a lot to improve on this year. This is episode 1. So first, thank you for kicking us off with season 2. How are we going to get better this year? How do we spice things up? What kind of things do you want to see? You knew the rigmarole from season 1 because you had your buddy Jordan on. So like, what do you want to see happen this season?
Man, I think more time. I know it's tough because everything's a time constraint, but 10 minutes seems so short. When you're up there, it feels like 5, right? And then like something from season 1, like I think Kenzie did it real well, was the icebreakers. I think coming was something to break the ice and seeing, because that puts somebody's creativity to the test, and I think that is something that is astronomically important, like thinking on your feet, being quick-witted, not taking yourself too seriously. Those icebreakers display all those things.
Right. Totally agree. Now I have to ask, speaking of the icebreaker, where is that MVP trophy?
So believe it or not, if you go, and I'm going to selflessly plug my own podcast, at Glass Half Sports on Facebook here, or TikTok or whatever, spelled like it sounds. If you go over there, today's episode in the background, guess what? It's sitting in the background.
Dude, love that. And I'm assuming
Swipe
we had
up.
some dialogue
For
the podcast, like you were explaining the trophy that was in your background.
We had our first in-studio guest today. Arif Hassan was on, who reports on the Minnesota Vikings, so was making a lot of pre-show efforts to make sure that was all tied up. Didn't quite get to it, but I did send a screenshot of it over to Kenzie and was like, "Hey, find the trophy." She said it was greatly appreciated that it was put up. So
that's exciting.
And it'll sit in the background now. So once things go up in the background of our show, they never leave. So it only gets more crowded. But
that's exciting. That is fantastic, Nick. Really, really love that, man. Going forward, I'd love to hear from you. final question here. Who do you want to see on the show? Do you have anyone that you'd like to welcome on? Who do you want to see on the show?
Actually, and he doesn't even know that I'm going to do this. So I got a buddy of mine who is coming back from grad school in Nebraska here in the next couple of months, and is going to have to reacclimate himself to the social world of Minnesota. He's a very well-spoken individual, and his name is Grant Backman. I'd be stoked if he could make his way on. I think it'd be a good opportunity for him, looking for kind of the same things I was looking for.
Nice. Go ahead and make sure you nominate him on the show. If you could take care of that, put that on your to-do list on your vision board, man.
That one right there?
Yeah, that one right there. If you could write that up there, dude. Which is bananas that you're writing that small in dry erase marker, kind of a psycho move, but we will push that aside and basically tell you, man, you're a good dude. We appreciate you, your time on the show. And you did a phenomenal job. Thanks for kicking us off in the right way. Seriously.
Absolutely, man. I can't thank y'all enough for the opportunity. I enjoyed it. Y'all set a good atmosphere. First draft absolutely kills it when it comes to this, being able to host the way that they do. And, you guys make it easy. You got people there set up in time to, warm the king or queen up. You're doing all the right things. You guys make the operations piece simple. It's all just the conversations after that. So.
Love that. I really appreciate that because that stuff falls on me, so that's a huge win.
Absolutely.
I actually have one more question for you. T-Flow, we got to shout her out. How's it having T-Flow as your guy angel?
Man, so she's a great steerer of said conversations, right? Like, I wish she would have pressed a little harder, right, on some grittier details, because I saw that a little bit in season 1, and I thought that was kind of cool. But episode 1, she'll get back into the rhythm of things, I'm sure, as time goes on. But no, she's awesome. I was telling her during the show, I was like, "You're a fan favorite." She goes, "You think?" I was like, "If you think about it on camera, you're the only consistent part of the podcast. You have to be a fan favorite." I was like, "When are we gonna start treating you like Chris Harris? That man runs The Bachelor. T-Flow runs Date Night."
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay, and you nailed it. She came up to me right at the end of it and was like, "I need to press more. I know it. I felt it. I need to press more." So she already had that feedback internally. To hear it again, she's ready to come with some fire the rest of the season.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm excited. I will show up to see if she brings it now, I guess. And you just got to give her some more of that CBD stuff. I mean, she had drops that before the show and was wired, running around all over the place. So maybe it's just in between the breaks.
It's actually required that all hosts, especially T-Flow, is they're basically dialed in with a little bit of Chyll Botanicals before we get the night started. Just kind of a nice tradition that we've implemented, thanks to Chyll Botanicals basically powering the entire show. So, great point.
Absolutely.
Phenomenal stuff, Nick, man. Really appreciate you. Like I said, just couldn't have thought of a better way to start the season off, and excited to maybe have you back on the after show here to follow up on how the date went.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Let me know when you guys want me to come on. Obviously, Declan, always good to see you. Andrew, Minneapolis, godfather of podcasts. I said it last night. Everything that this man touches in the podcast industry turns to gold. So would be more than honored to spend some more time with you guys if you can spare it for me.
Beautiful, man. Thanks for coming on tonight. And looking forward to hearing how date number 2 goes.
Absolutely, man. Take care, guys.
Godspeed,
Sweet.
brother.
See you, Nick.
Bang, dude. Episode 1 of season 2, the after show. My God, we are off to a good start, Andrew, would you say?
Oh, that was so fun. I love that we uncovered some things that I didn't fully know. I did have some feelings towards the some thoughts towards Abbo being, a clear winner in the crowd's eyes. It was interesting to hear Kenzie, one of the contestants, the ending up winner, also thought that Abbo was going to win. That was wild. That was out of left field.
Wild. And then, Nick going back to what he knows best, the energy, what's the feel, what's the vibe. He knew that she was nervous, was still willing to look past that and go for the true match. Nick is a hero. And I'm excited to see where this goes. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to not only Taylor Flood getting back in the grind after a nice 8-month hiatus, but I also want to give a shout out to Mark Dowdle, our switchboard operator, and the pseudo host of the crowd interviews that we have basically after all 3 dates. Mark did a phenomenal job, by far my favorite part in addition of our show. So I just want to give a quick shout out to him. and the rest of the team. Cannot wait for episode 2, Andrew. Tomorrow, in context for the podcast, tomorrow, Wednesday, February 23rd, we have Yemi on the show, Queen Yemi. She is technically our first African-American female on the show as a queen, and we are stoked to the max to have her. She is an absolute spark plug, Minnesota Timberwolves dancer, and I'm excited to see her take these 3 dudes out to lunch, baby. I'm stoked.
Yeah, I'm so stoked. I'm curious to see if these dudes have the standard to live up to Yemi, because
Yeah.
it's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough. I'm excited to see these boys squirm, basically put it that way.
Oh, but that's enough from us. I think we're done here on the after show.
Absolutely. I'm willing to call it a wrap. Love each and every one of you guys. Take care.
Take care.
Bang.